Yeah, obviously it's excited locker room, and a lot of teams go through adversity in given years, and we certainly have had our share, whether it be difficult losses, turnover here, turnover there, or many injuries that we've been through. We just had a lot of things that have kind of put a cloud around us, and it's just been tough to kind of break through it. But the thing that is so rewarding is I think the training ground for young men and for coaches in those times when it's like that is probably, there's more you can learn from that than the great times. And being a person of faith, there's a lot of times that's what you hold on to. And but man, I've just never seen our kids waver. It's been the next man up mentality, and our coaches have never wavered. We always have belief in the next opportunity. And then tonight, obviously we get to see the fruits of it. So our kids haven't grown weary and doing good or working, and they certainly believed in themselves enough tonight in a difficult atmosphere to play for 60 minutes for each other. And our theme this week was time. And what we do with the time matters. It matters for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And it's quite nice to see them get rewarded for the way they worked. And man, I could go on and on with individual efforts, but I'd start with Robert Conyers. You're talking about a guy that gives everything to a program. He's 3 knee surgeries, hasn't practiced all week, does not need to really play tonight, and jumps out there and gives us his 20 to 30 snaps. Then he gets hurt again, and then Sean Rawlins, who hadn't practiced all week and doesn't need to be out there really, finishes the game for us at center. And guys like that. Gary Wunderlich's had a very quiet, in my opinion, stellar year. I think he's been really, really solid, really, really good. And to make a pressure kick like that with Will Few and Will Gleason holding. And then defensively, I was mad I was furious at half with some things we did not do or defensively. And I wasn't blaming the kids. I just thought we did not put them in enough position to be successful. The kids just assured me that DJ Jones and Fadal said, "Coach, we will play for 60 minutes. You help us get the calls right." And Dave and them did a great job in the second half, and gave us more opportunities to score. We needed to score touchdowns in the red zone, and we didn't get that done early, which would have made it a different game. But the resiliency and fight of our kids paid off in the 60-minute SEC road battle.
Hugh, Shea seemed to show a lot of poise. What did you think of his the way he handled himself?
Yeah, I've recruited this kid since he was a 9th grader. And I've kind of known all along that he just had that it quality about him. And I leave very few high school games feeling like, the kid's just a no-brainer, and we obviously have to develop them and take them. But I left the game. I get one opportunity to go watch him play, and I left that game kind of with a man crush on him. And I mean that in the friendly version of. But I just saw a kid that, man, he had such poise, and the mechanics are great. He can run, he can throw. You wish he was a little taller and all of that, but at the end of the day, the guy just makes plays and really doesn't get rattled by a lot. He had to learn on the run tonight. He's been running scout team the last 5 weeks, and they threw a lot of stuff at him tonight. And he made a few bad reads here and there. And then would make up for it with his competitiveness and athletic ability. And I knew that I would be criticized either way I went on I think Aristotle said a long time ago, the only way you keep from being criticized, you say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. And he probably had that figured out a long time ago, but it was fairly an easy decision once I knew Shea and his parents were on board with it, because I don't know how, I can't preach team all year long and then look at Evan Ingram and Fadal Brown and everybody else say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to give you the best chance to win of your last 3 games. And I just can't do that. And so once Lachey and his family were on board, it was a pretty easy decision. And you just said to him and Jason, y'all battle it out this week. And whoever has the best week will get the nod, and Shay did. So I would tell you that I would tell you if I was surprised tonight, but I really am not, just because how long I've been around this kid.
So when did you know? I mean, when did you make the decision and tell them?
Well, I told him Friday, but I knew before that. But I told him Friday.
Did you tell Gary anything before that big?
Didn't speak to him. Me and kickers don't talk a whole lot, but in the course of the game, Gary's, I can't remember if he's had one like that. No, I don't
No,
remember
he
one.
has not had a good
Ever.
game.
Not in high school.
So I wasn't gonna really, I was gonna try to treat it as normal as possible. Was glad that they had used all their timeouts and I didn't have that, to manage that extra 30 to 45 seconds with him, but it just kind of made my mind up. Once we got in field goal range, I wanted to take one more shot. I thought but Shay did a great job on that last play. They gave us edge pressure, and we were just going to run a little naked and try to get 5 yards or something. But he did a great job getting the yards back. Then I just wasn't going to say anything to Gary.
The run game, coach, you got the run game going downhill.
Say it one more time.
Sound like felt like you got the run game
Yeah,
going.
I think we
kinda
rushed
helped
for, we did enough to stay balanced. There were some more rush yards there that we probably left on the table with a few calls that we had. They called us in a couple bad calls with the looks they had. And that defensive front's very athletic and very talented, but we ran it enough to stay balanced for sure.
What did you think about the catch by Stringfellow? It really was a key point in the game, and it was crazy.
There were several key points, but that was certainly one, and he's one of the most talented kids I've coached, and he really didn't. I see him make those one-handed deals in practice a lot, but it's a little different in this atmosphere under that situation. So it was a phenomenal play.
If you left Shank's high school game with a man crush on him, how do you feel about him tonight?
Well, I told him in there, we shared a prayer together, and I just said, dude, this is just the beginning of a journey. Stay humble, stay hungry, learn from it. Just remain who you are, and I think you will, because he's got a platform. He's going to have a platform where he can impact a lot of people's lives with just the way he handles adversity and successes. And they both can be difficult to handle at times. So he'll have to handle that. I think he will. We still got, our goal is, I instituted a little plan 2 weeks ago, and it's helped us some, I think. It's helped us as coaches, it's helped us as players. We want to send these seniors that have turned our program around out in a bowl game, and so we still got work to do.
Second week in a row, y'all had a pretty drastic change defensively in the second half for the better. I mean, what was the difference for you guys tonight?
Well, the difference tonight was really we stopped the run and won first down, and then didn't kill ourselves by screwing up a call or a coverage. Which, while we do that, the first long pass they had there should be nobody open on that with the route they ran and the coverage we ran. We're still playing freshmen. You would think they've grown up by now, but they still make mistakes from time to time, and we've got to coach them better. There's a disconnect sometimes, it seems, on those, and then on the red zone down there, they take the guy in motion, we don't even go with him. I was not happy.
What'd you tell Shay before he went out there tonight?
Told him at the hotel the day before we left, is just be who you are, be who God created you to be, and there's going to be some mistakes. Don't blink. Just play the next one. We'll talk about it. If you have questions, ask. Continue to communicate with me and tell me and Dan and tell us what you're comfortable with. But man, don't blink. Enjoy the moment. Not a lot of people get this opportunity. I texted his mom and dad on the way over and said, I hope you can enjoy the night. I know you'll be uptight, but they're probably enjoying it right now.
Hugh, you've had success.
You saw him? What
Saw
high
a
school?
state championship game his junior year.
Why'd you decide to go onside?
They've been playing really soft on film, and we just kicked it too hard. I think Carlos Davis was going to win the 10-yard race, but we kicked it like 15.
You've had some success with Jason in that short yardage goal line situation before. Did you see something tonight that made you especially like that call as opposed to Shay in those red zone opportunities?
Yeah, you know, we had the wheel open, we were gonna throw a wheel route, and we missed the back block, and he got sacked and the fumble, but I didn't think they'd be expecting the throw. We knew they'd be in bare man, and Hunter was wide open if we just had a split second to throw it.
All right.
I can't remember all the others.
All right, thanks, guys. We're going to players right out this door right here, back here in the